Some connections don't just attract you, they consume you. You may try to walk away, but it feels like your soul is hooked. The chemistry is undeniable, the lessons unforgettable. And no matter how much time passes, that person leaves a mark that cannot be erased. There's definitely Venus and Pluto energy, love that doesn't just touch you, but transform you. So, in this video, I will be detailing Venus and Pluto, what they mean natally, what they mean synastry wise, and ultimately what they mean for transformation in your life and most importantly, in your relationships. So, if you want to know more, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new around here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and sound therapist, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you're new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little more intense. Well, at least the subject matter is a little more intense because we're talking about Venus and Pluto. Venus and Pluto is transformational. This isn't your everyday run of the mill relationship. It is a relationship, or maybe even relationships, that are meant to up level you and change your life forever. And I don't mean that lightly. I'm serious. Venus, Pluto synastry, it can be cataclysmic, it can be explosive. But one thing is for sure, you will never be the same once you experience it. All right. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right. So, of course, to begin, I'd like you to think about and meditate on this core idea. Venus shows how you love, Pluto shows how you transform. Together, they reveal the alchemy of passion, power, and rebirth through relationships. Pluto doesn't do surface level anything. It wants depth, truth, and ultimately, and most importantly, surrender. When it contacts Venus, love becomes a catalyst for personal evolution. I want you to keep that concept in mind, evolution. And the evolution is not just happening on the relationship stage, it's happening personally. Like I said, that Venus Pluto pairing, you'll never be the same once you experience it. And it's ultimately to up level you and help you evolve. It's important to keep that in mind when the rubber hits the road, when things get difficult, when there are fireworks going off, when there are wrecking balls going through. It's all in the name of evolution. So let's begin by talking about these two in the natal chart, okay? And I like to call this the magnetic signature. Venus and Pluto together are like a giant magnet. It's not about chasing and going, it's about being, embodying, and magnetizing. Okay. So let's say you've got Venus conjunct Pluto in your natal chart. Love is intensity for you. You crave total union, mind, body, and soul. You want it all. You don't want just cute Instagram aesthetics. You want somebody's soul. Dare I say, you may even want to wear their skin. And I don't mean that lightly because this is the kind of, here's the thing about astrology, slight tangent, so indulge me if you will, okay? Much like everything else, astrology is not like love and light all the time, right? Astrology will show you fucked up shit too. Venus and Pluto, those are crimes of passion. It could even be serial killers. It could be people who have weird, and I don't want to say this for you to think that, oh, this is you. It could be, but doesn't have to be. People with like obsession, stalking, violence, things having to do with sexual violence. People literally wanting to skin you and wearing your skin. I think there's like a documentary on Netflix right now about some serial killer who was doing that, who was like killing people and wearing their skin. I digress with all of this, but I say all this to say astrology isn't just love and light. It can show you some weird things too. It can show you some not so savory things as well. But in terms of if you have Pluto and Venus conjunct in your natal chart, you want it all. You want love that is all encompassing. I want all parts of you. The beauty of Pluto understands the ugliness and the realness of life and accepts it and integrates it. So if you've got Venus and Pluto dominant in your chart, like again, if you've got Venus conjunct Pluto in your chart, you want the good with the bad. You want total union. That's what makes relationships valuable to you. Okay. Now, let's say you've got Venus trine or sextile to Pluto. You engage with relationships with emotional depth and magnetic chemistry. Your relationships heal and empower you. That's very powerful. Relationships as healing, right? Oftentimes people are looking for what they can get in relationships. And typically we're talking about getting tangible things. But in this instance, it's like relationships for you are like your charger, it's your battery pack. They heal and they empower you. Let's say you've got Venus square or opposite to Pluto. Attraction can feel faded, but control issues or fear of loss can surface. Now, I was just talking about the ugly side of life and the weird things that Pluto can evoke, right? If Venus and Pluto are making a harsh aspect in your chart, fears, obsession, control, manipulation, those could either be how you conduct yourself in relationships or what you are experiencing in relationships. And again, it's not for no reason. It's to elevate you, it's to evolve you, it's to help ultimately empower you and to make you not be afraid anymore. But you have to learn it kind of the hard way. Okay. Pluto teaches us that power in love isn't about control, it's about vulnerability. And that can be very counterintuitive because people feel like they need to micromanage and control situations or people and exert their will and their force on others. And that's what makes relationships strong. What makes relationships strong is your ability to be weak in them, AKA vulnerability. The more you try to dominate love, mm, the more it's going to show you your own shadow. And if you're afraid of the dark, oof, that's when you may swear off relationships because you're saying in every relationship you're being triggered. Oh my God, this is happening. Girl, it's your shadow coming up. Or boy, girl, boy, whatever. It's your shadow. That person is showing you your shadow. The more you try to force shit, dominate, control, the more it's going to show you how so not in control you are. Now, let's talk about Venus and Pluto in synastry. This is the soul mirror connection. So, when one person's Pluto touches another's Venus, the pull is instant and unforgettable. These are the I can't quit you, I can't live without you connections. Passionate, magnetic, and deeply karmic. But they can also expose unhealed patterns, jealousy, fear, obsession, manipulation, forcing both people to grow. And again, this goes back to what I was saying before about Pluto is all about evolution. So, experiencing these things, you're not experiencing them for no reason. You're experiencing them so you can evolve, so that both of you can evolve. Now, let's talk about the transformational arc of Venus and Pluto attraction. This is magnetic chemistry. This is a spark that feels faded, but it's also confrontation. It's also power struggles, and it's also boundaries being tested. And then again, it's also surrender. It's also learning to love without control. And then, yet, still, it's also about rebirth. After going through all of that, it's about emerging stronger, wiser, and most importantly, more whole. Venus and Pluto remind us that the most intense love stories are rarely about another person. They're about who we become when love strips us down to truth, when love strips us down to our essence. Those are the most compelling love stories. So now let's pause for a moment of reflection and self inquiry. So here's your reflection for today. What has love taught you about power, about the need to control, the fear of loss, or the courage to let go or surrender? The deeper the love, the deeper the transformation. So take some time to reflect, to meditate, to think, and to journal on this topic today. And again, if you want to know more about how you show up in relationships and your Venus archetype, then you're going to want to take the seduction style quiz. It's a cute little free quiz where you can not only find out your archetype, but you'll also get an accompanying PDF guide that gives you a little bit more information. So if you're interested, the link to that is in the description box below. And if you're ready to start interpreting aspects like this yourself, then get on the wait list for my signature self paced course, Charted. That's where I teach you how to decode your chart and understand your own love evolution. Right. And so if you're interested in joining the wait list, so you'll know exactly when this course is dropping, which will be in the very near future. The link is in the description box below so you can sign up. And of course, you can always come hang out with me in Cosmic Collective, which is my private online community where we talk about passion, purpose, and transformation every week during Cosmic Chemistry Fridays. I go live. We go deeper into the week's topics. I do a case study, and you have the opportunity to ask as many questions as you like. So if you're interested, you can either scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link in the description box below. I look so forward to seeing you over on that side of things. All right, my loves, that's pretty much all I've got for you for this video on Venus and Pluto and what they can show you about love and transformation. It's intense, but Venus and Pluto together, especially in synastry, life changing. And I mean that in all seriousness. So hopefully you got at least one important piece of information that you can use going forward to have more understanding in your relationships and to transform so that you can have more successful relationships going forward. All right. So join me tomorrow where we will close out this week of compatibility with a juicy topic, Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovers who define how attraction turns into chemistry and sex. Who doesn't want to talk about that? All right. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Most importantly, set notifications so you don't miss any of this amazing astrological information. All right, my loves, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.